Believe it or not, none of you really knows what it means to be rich. It's a lot more than having the money to buy your dream car or not having to work all of your life. There exists a world so exclusive, so enigmatic, that's shrouded in mystery. A world where wealth is measured in billions, not millions. A world of the wealthy. Take a moment and think, what does it take to be a billionaire? The answer might drop your jaws. Yep, reaching the $1 billion mark would take you over 31 years, given you earn $1 per second. So buckle up while we ride through the levels of wealth you never knew existed. The first level of rich, top 1%. Have you ever heard them say, filthy rich? Well, turns out we know something filthier. Being part of the top 1% of the world's wealthy. And guess what? You'll need a whopping income worth $200,000 to be part of the elite. It's only if you're making that kind of dough will you be the king or queen compared to the rest of the world. They say money can't buy happiness, but it looks like it's not quite different for the top 1% of earners of the world. At this point, you can afford the fancy houses and your dream cars, but did you think about the hefty price tags that come along? We bet not. But here's the kicker. Once you reach that top mark, your wealth starts to be measured in a way you never thought. Not the money you make, but the net worth and the assets you have. The truth is, the more assets you have, the more financially secure you are. And frankly, if you're truly wealthy, you've figured a way to not depend on your salary anymore. An absolute dream. The second level of rich, net worth of $10 million to $30 million. Once here, just know you've made it to the big leagues. At this point, you know you're living just as comfortably as you can, brimming with luxuries, a fancy house and top-notch flights, or even an opulent getaway plan. Yes, you could have your moment where you feel extra bougie. And guess what? That might make you want to book a $2,000 suite for a special occasion. No biggie. And the best part still remains. No emergency has the potential to knock you down. But they say there's always something you're not paying attention to. In this case, it's the fact you're not exactly swimming in money like Scrooge McDuck. This means you're not quite rich like the ones who say money doesn't matter. And that calls for you playing smart. Be mindful of your big decisions. We can't possibly emphasize this more. Here's a little piece of advice to anyone who falls here. Don't forget, in the world of banking, you're not quite ultra high net worth yet. So, think twice before you stop hustling for more. That's where another question arises. What happens to the rich that are slightly down the ladder? That takes us to the next level, the third level of rich, $30 million to $100 million. At this point, if we said you hit the big time, we weren't wrong. A fortune worth $30 million? We've only seen that in our dreams, right? So once you cross that line, consider yourself lucky. Oh, you're really playing in the major leagues now. Here, chances are you're running or have a controlling interest in a massive company. You're living your best life, staying at 5-star hotels and jet-setting around the world to your multiple luxury homes. And especially when it's time for vacation, you fear nothing. You're all set to hit the hottest events like Grand Prix or film festivals. Not to forget, you're staying in the most jaw-dropping hotels with a staggering cost of $15,000 per night or above. If you were to call that crazy, we wouldn't blame you. Let's talk about when it's time to buy stuff. The sky's really the limit here. You have personal assistants at this point. Buying stuff is a really small thing. Of course, you can get your hands on any car, any piece of jewelry, any opulent thing you want. You name it, you've got it. Nothing short of what's in the movies. But here's one thing you never knew about climbing up to this level. You're also rolling in some super high-class circles. You're just rubbing elbows with senators, congressmen, and other community leaders. And the best part? Well, you're well respected within those circles. Well, that unveils another fact no one speaks about. Running in high-class circles will make you want more, or simply, all you can have. Imagine you just got a fancy new Ferrari, But your buddy has a limited edition version that only 5 people in the world have. And yeah, you find yourself yearning for that. And the fun fact? It's all natural, like a spark that's waiting to ignite. But there's a level beyond this too. But how about you subscribe to our channel before we get to the next level of rich, which comes with its own share of wow moments. The 4th level of rich, net worth of $100 million to $1 billion. Welcome to the bigger than the big leagues. At this point, you're most likely in control of a business that most of the public has heard of, even if they haven't heard of you personally. And it's pretty much the same with your social circle. You're running with the big dogs, movie stars, rock stars, and the big corporate people. And jumping right into your lifestyle, it's pretty sweet at this point. You've got a free pass to do all you like, go anywhere you want, and do everything in your style. Chances are, you've got multiple houses all over the world, full of staff and elite cars everywhere in the world. And just when you're feeling extra fancy, you might even have your own private island to find peace. And if that's not the ultimate life goal, we don't know what is. You dream of something, you have it in the next minute. Just give a generous donation of $100,000 plus to the charity of your tennis favorite pro, and they'll probably jump at the chance to hit some balls with you. What's more, those bands you've been drooling over all of your life will be there to perform for you, just with the blink of an eye. And when it comes to buying stuff, that's a whole new story. You're literally open to the world's most exclusive and elusive treasures. Imagine being able to afford a gold toilet to begin with. Well, things are just as crazy as this here. And this level of wealth, the queer possibilities like these are truly endless. So, here's the thing. Imagine drinking from a 24-karat gold water bottle with spring water from France and Fiji, coupled with glacier water from Iceland. Whoa, but hang on, there's more. Imagine owning a phone that costs over $15 million with 24-karat gold casing, more than 600 white and black diamonds, and sapphire glass for the screen. You won't believe it, but we're literally just scratching the surface here. To spit the facts, your mind's the only thing that's limiting you here. And if that doesn't have you wondering what's beyond this level, we don't know what will. The 5th level of rich, 1 billion net worth and above. That in itself is a dumbfounding statistic, right? But what if we told you there are things you never had the chance to imagine in your wildest imaginations? Well, gear up to have your mind blown. Did you know that the richest 1% of the world's population owns more wealth than the other 99% combined? And within that 1%, there are only 2,755 billionaires who have a mind-boggling net worth of $13.1 trillion. Truth be told, it's impossible to even fathom that kind of wealth. But it's a living reality for these God's favorites. And the best part is yet to come. With this intense level of wealth, you've access to anything in the world. So, hold on to your seats while we navigate your way through the world of the ultra-rich. How about we let you visualize it? That'd be great. So imagine a jar of rice. Each grain of rice represents $100,000. A millionaire's jar would have 10 grains of rice, while a billionaire's jar would have 100. But Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk's jars? They would have 10,000 grains of rice each. But have you ever wondered what these billionaires do with all this wealth in the world? Well, when you're a billionaire, you can buy your way into almost anything. Speaking of the power of billionaires, that's a world of mystery too. It's nothing like a lot of money, but an entire universe of possibilities. You can buy access, which means whoever you want to speak to is at your disposal the very moment. The second thing you can buy as a billionaire is influence. A whole lot of it. You might as well use your influence to bring about real change in the world. Yep, we mean you have all the power in the world to shape public policy and spark important conversations on a global scale. But hey, if you think that's all, you need to think again. Yet another thing that's at hand for you is impact, which is no biggie for you to acquire through generous charities and philanthropy. We're sure you grew up hearing the phrase, money doesn't buy time. But let us bust the myth for you today. Time's just another luxury that goes overlooked. No lines, no waiting, just everything at your disposal. But if that has you thinking being ultra wealthy is all rainbows and sunshines, then the answer is a big no. With this much money comes a ton of problems. Everyone around you is either a yes man or is out to use you. No deep connections and no dating either. But perhaps on the top of everything, money can't protect you from the pain of losing loved ones and the ugliest truth of life, death. That said, if you think you're poor, then let us tell you what, nobody has it all. Simply nobody. And if that has you wondering if there's more to the billionaire life, wait till you watch another video on the daily spending habits of billionaires versus millionaires. You're in to discover all of the treats hidden to satisfy your itch to unravel all of the aspects of the wealthy.